Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. Yesterday, Raila Molo Odinga took his presidential campaigns to Busia County. And Budalangi Member of Parliament, Raphael Wanjala, used a very interesting narrative to charge the crowd. Have a look at this.
Tunaenda tawe, si ndio? Ruto! Msalia! Wetangula! Rigade! Waizi! Msalia! Wetangula! Ruto! UDA!
Yes, that was yesterday. And you can see clearly that those words, Ruto tawe, Mudavadi tawe, Wetangula tawe, Rigathi tawe, are really resonating well with those people in Busia. An indication that William Ruto and his brigade are not all that a welcomed group in Busia County and largely in western counties. So in this video, I want us to dig deep in our analysis to explain why I believe after these years presidential elections in August, Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Masika Wetangula might actually be rendered irrelevant in Western or rather in the Luya politics. But before we do that, in case you've bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. In the next 2 months, Kenyans are going to go to the ballot to cast their votes. And from the look of things, and even from the research that has been done in Western Kenya, in the Mulembe Nation, it's almost very certain and clear Raila Odinga will win the Mulembe vote. And should that happen, Musalia Mudavadi and his team of Wetangula and that whole team, they shall have been rendered politically irrelevant in Western. They'll now not be seen as Western political kingpins. And I honestly believe, ladies and gentlemen, that loyal leaders who will be on the side of Raila, some of them will be prompted or will be promoted as the next, or rather as new loyal kingpins. And I'm seeing most likable candidates being Eugene Wamalwa and also Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya. So as Musalia Mudavadi will be dying politically and Moses Masika Wetangula, I'm seeing a high possibility where Eugene Wamalwa and Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya and even Kenneth Marende will automatically be rising politically in Western. And I'm saying that because largely Western politics is a little bit very complicated. We have the Bukusu vote on one side, and then we have these other sub-tribes of Luyas on this other side. A majority of these other Luya sub-tribes, they always, towards a good majority of them, always align themselves towards maybe a specific direction. Same to these Bukusu votes. In fact, Bukusu votes, they have actually not been voting all that homogeneously, but a good majority have actually been voting for Raila Molo Odinga, with an equally good number not opting to vote for Raila Molo Odinga. But this other side of the Luya sub-tribes, they have actually been endorsing Raila Molo Odinga overwhelmingly. So in this case, or rather in this year's presidential elections, I'm seeing a repeat of the same trends that all along we have been seeing. These other Luya sub-tribes are whooping 80% or even more. I'm seeing them clearly endorsing Raila Molo Odinga. The Bukusu vote, ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing something like 60 to 65% endorsing Raila Molo Odinga. 30 to 35% might actually vote against Raila Molo Odinga. And I'm saying that based on the previous voting patterns we have actually been seeing. And I believe even in 2022, things will not change much. Bukusu Raila might win 60 to 65%. 30 to 35 might decide not to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga. On this other side, Raila will command at least 80% of the votes. So if you add all those two maybe votes, I'm seeing Raila Odinga easily winning the Western vote or the Mulembe vote with at least 75%. And should that happen, ladies and gentlemen, just as I've stated, Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi shall have been rendered politically irrelevant. And also, if you look at Western Kenya politics, something tells me very strongly that the Western nation, they are seeing this as Raila's best chance to win the presidency. So I'm also seeing a good majority of them, even those who have not been voting for Raila Amolo Odinga, I'm seeing a good majority of them this time round actually going to the ballot to be part of the history as a team who actually made Raila Amolo Odinga, or rather propelled Raila Amolo Odinga to the presidency. And I'm saying that because for a very long period of time now, the Mulembe nation, just as other Raila supporters across the country, they have been voting for Raila Amolo Odinga. But in one way or the other, Raila's victory is always alleged to have been snatched away from him in those previous, about 3 previous presidential elections. So this time around, the mere fact that Raila Odinga actually is now with the government side, a side that all along is believed has been snatching his victory, I'm seeing that working to the advantage of Raila Amolo Odinga in Western. That is going to actually encourage the Mulembe people actually also to turn out in large numbers, especially those who are Raila supporters. That is going to encourage them to turn out in large numbers to cast their votes for Raila Amolo Odinga. So again in 2022, I'm seeing a likely possibility where the turnout in Western Kenya can even be higher than it has all along been. And largely in areas that have been supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, I'm seeing turnouts for Raila Amolo Odinga in its traditional support basis actually becoming high and higher in 2022, simply because they now believe and see that Raila has the best chance of winning this year's presidential election. Yes. And back to that short clip, I tend to believe that already Raila enjoys some goodwill among the Mulembe people. So Raila just needs such kind of leaders who can actually work the crowd. And that is a very effective political strategy. Because politics, ladies and gentlemen, it's also more of just emotions. If you can actually create some emotions that resonates very well with the ground, then that's just one way of persuading the undecided who actually attended that rally in actually now starting to support you. Because upon seeing that short clip, I'm honestly persuaded that if there are people who attended that rally, but they might have been undecided as to who to vote for, a good majority might have left that rally fully now persuaded and convinced into voting for Raila Amolo Odinga, simply because of how those sentiments or those slogans were resonating very well with a good majority in that rally. So the few who might have been undecided can now decide to go with that majority, what we call bandwagon kind of effect. So Raila Odinga should look for such kind of leaders who can actually work the crowds using such kind of maybe political antiques. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just as I did indicate when we were starting, in case you've bumped here for the very first time and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans, our subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you, God bless Kenya. To any other person watching us outside Kenya for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And most importantly, Drop a comment. Let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana.